Hello.
Hello, Tom. It's Rowan from Silver Tiger Media. How are you?
I'm good. How about yourself?
Excellent. Thank you, mate. It's a great privilege to speak with you. Thank you very much for your time.
No worries, man. I'm just sitting here wrapping Christmas presents, you know.
It's absolutely that time of year again. Mate, congratulations on the success of Blood In and Blood Out with Nuclear Blast Records. It's an absolutely tremendous achievement.
Thanks, man.
Pleasure indeed.
We worked hard on it. We took our time.
It comes across, absolutely. I think you've captured the essence of Exodus. It seems to me that it's familiar for purists, but with a new, fresh edge. Is that what you were sort of aiming for?
Well, you know, we just wanted to make a good record, you know, and I think, you know, even with the singer change and like the lineup changes and everything that we went through, I think we did that. You know, like I said, we worked hard on it, and you know, it was album number 10, so you know, we weren't trying to make like a retro sounding record, although it has elements of that, but it's got elements of Southern rock and, you know, everything that's ever pretty much influenced our band. So
agreed wholeheartedly. Yeah. Is there a particular subject focus for the album?
Excuse me?
Is there a particular subject focus for the album?
No, not really. I mean, it's just basically about, you know, going into the pit. I mean, Gary wrote most of the lyrics. I just work on the music end, so he would be better to ask about that.
Indeed. Well, it was great. It was great to see Kirk Hammett back for Salt in the Wound. How was it to record with him again?
Oh man, it was easy. It was seamless. I mean, he basically came in. You know, we did the whole record pretty much in-house except for the drums. You know, he had some free time and he wanted to come in and do it, and we brought him in one afternoon and he ripped out his solo. I think he was probably done in about an hour and a half, and we just barbecued and drank beer. It was pretty simple.
Oh, wow, fantastic day. You're, of course, the only founding member of Exodus currently playing. I know it's a big question, but how would you describe the journey so far?
Oh my God, dude, it's been magical. I mean, I feel fortunate to have been in a band that's made 10 records, for one thing. I mean, that in itself is an achievement. I mean, I wasn't on all the records, but I feel you know, proud to be in a band that's done 10 albums. Not a lot of people can notch that on their bucket list, I suppose, you know.
Yeah.
And I think that you know, the group of guys that have been, you know, in this band and out of this band, and you know, we've had death and drug addiction and pretty much the whole gambit, the whole roller coaster ride of whatever you can go through as a band or even as a person, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the fact that you know, we're a band, but we operate a little bit differently than other bands because it's more like a brotherhood, and we truly, like, you know, care about each other, and it's a journey that we're happy to have made together, you know.
Sure. Yep. Absolutely.
And that goes for people that aren't in the band anymore, you know. I mean, Rob Deuce is a big part of that journey. Rick Hunolt, Robbie McKillop, of course, Paul Bailoff, and you know, it's been crazy. I mean, if you'd asked me, like, in, you know, 1998 or probably 2000 at the peak of the band's, like, drug use, if I thought we would be making 10 records, I'd say, fuck no.
Absolutely. Your drumming is so intense and powerful, but you seem to be getting more and more impressive. How have you maintained your skill for so long?
Well, I mean, the only thing I do now is I just try to, like, practice, you know, as much as possible and concentrate on breathing. Like I have a problem when we play live, like especially at the beginning of a tour where I'll go out and you know, I don't feel like I'm breathing right or something's wrong or everything's just uncomfortable, and it's, you know, it's basically just anxiety. But you know, I think to to maintain and do what we do at this age, you know, for me it's all about repetition and practice to build endurance, you know.
Sure, absolutely. Look, many, including me, are thrilled that you're coming to perform at Soundwave 2015. I know fans are very excited.
We're stoked, man. We can't wait.
It'll be great. Fans also are excited to know what to expect from your performance.
This mayhem and carnage. I don't know how long we get to play, but you know we're gonna do the best we can to represent the new record. And you know, I think being in a band that's made 10 records, I think the only problem we have, and you know, bands could have a lot worse problems with these as to have 10 records of music, you know, to choose from. So it's hard to please everybody. You know, we get people in the crowd every night like shouting out, you know, play this or play that, and it's like,
yeah.
And we you know, we don't really fight, but man, we have some really hard discussions about, you know, what's going to be in the set, what's going to be out of the set, and it always comes down to the same core numbers, you know, that we perform every night. But I think I sense like a big overhaul in our set. Like, you know, we're gonna shake some shit up. And
fantastic.
Sounds.
I'm sorry about the delay in the call. My apologies.
No, it's fine. The reception sounds good. You sound like you're down the street, dude.
Oh, terrific. Friends of mine in Australia are in a metal band called Temptress, and they're the biggest Exodus fans I know. They're desperate to find out if there's any chance of a Sidewave show in Sydney. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, because we got 6 shows slated, I think, on the book to play. So I don't know when or where they're going to happen. I just know we're coming.
That's enough for Australian fans, and it'll be absolutely massive. They'll be thrilled to hear that. Are you finding a more multi-generational following now?
Absolutely, dude. In fact, you know, this last tour we went on, you know, it was a really good bill. Slayer and Suicidal and Exodus. It was, you know, you if you can't be a metal fan and go away happy from that show, then I don't know what will please you, but.
Yeah.
You know, I found that you know, there's a lot of graybeards in there.
Yeah,
and a lot
included.
A lot of graybeards and their kids. You know.
Most certainly.
They brought their kids, and you know, when we did a headlining run to come home, because we had to play our way home because the tour ended on the East Coast. So we played our way back to the West Coast, and we branched out and played some smaller venues on the way home, and the shows were packed, and I did notice a lot of young fans.
That sounds fantastic. I know I've got a 13-year-old who just loves Collateral Damage. You can't get enough of it.
I love that song.
It's magnificent. The new generation of fans, I guess, could explain the renewed vibrancy in your sound, but you're often described as being the pioneers of thrash metal, particularly in the Bay Area, and the inspiration for, let's face it, thousands of bands. Having started in 1980, have you been influenced by any musicians, particularly yourself?
You talking about newer music, or just influences? Because I listen to like a lot of old school music. Like I listen to a lot of you know, Lakeside, Earth, Wind and Fire, and anything Motown and Commodores. I listen to a lot of funk music. I grew up listening to a lot of funk music, and you know, and then my brother brought home a record called Pink Floyd Animals, and that kind of like, whoa, that kind of turned everything around for me. And you know, and then a friend of mine gave me a copy of a worn-out copy of If You Want Blood, You Got It by AC/DC, and I was like, holy shit, and that kind of spun stuff around. And, you know, I think I listened to a lot of classic rock. You know, I think the first record I ever held in my hand, and I got to pay a little homage to Joe Cocker today because he passed away yesterday, and the first record I ever held in my hand that I remember being like in diapers was Mad Dogs and Englishmen.
Wow.
That my mom had, and you know, she had like other 60s music, Blood, Sweat and Tears, not really harder music, some Beatles, you know, but all that stuff like influenced me. As far as musicians, you know, the drummer of Heart, Michael DeRozier in the 70s was a big influence of mine. Toto's drummer, Jeff Porcaro, Keith Moon, of course, big influence. Just his attack has never been matched. Like there'll never be another drummer like that, you know.
Yeah.
And even you know, Creedence Clearwater, just good old down home rock and roll, like totally influenced me.
Wow, that's incredibly diverse.
Yeah.
Again,
well, I think you gotta be. I mean, I don't think you should. You know, if you're a young kid like playing drums or guitar or whatever your instrument is, you should never limit yourself to like just listening to metal. I mean, I'm sure there's probably some out there that do that, but you know, I think I listen to whatever moves me, dude. I don't really care if it's cool or not.
Yeah, yep, absolutely. So many tracks from the new album highlight your tremendous skill, such as the title track, Collateral Damage, and Salt the Wound. Do you have a favourite track to play from the album?
Well, so far, I mean, because we played such a short set on the Slayer run, we've only been doing 2. But I would like to get around to playing Collateral Damage, and you know, we've been playing Blood In, Blood Out, and Black 13, working on Body Harvest, and basically I practice, like when I practice for these tours that we've been doing recently, I've just been practicing the whole new record so I can pull out, you know, we could pull out whatever we need to, you know.
Yeah.
But I'd like to maybe play Collateral Damage and Body Harvest and Salt the Wound, and you know, as much as we can. But then, you know, we gotta please the old schoolers too, because like some nights everybody wants to hear Born by Blood shit. So
yeah, absolutely. After 10 albums, it must be so hard to keep up with the requests flying out from the crowd.
Dude, I'll say it again, but there's worse problems a band can have than, you know.
Yeah, most certainly. You've given so many people an outlet with your music for, you know, some of the less desirable human emotions. Over such a huge career, have you felt much appreciation for that?
Yeah, I mean, we were part of something special, you know, that happened, and you know, I think now that I get older, like the journey does come into perspective, and I think for all of us too, it's like, you know, we've never made a lot of money doing this, and that's not really what's been important. I mean, the places that this has been able to take us all, like, you know, like, dude, I've sipped cappuccino in fucking Bosnia, you know. I never would do that, you know, just being a local musician my whole life, and you know, I think we were part of something special that, you know, that happened here in the Bay Area, and you know, it was basically a clique of about 200 people that, you know, just were super passionate about this music and making this music, and you know, it was fun. It was fun to grow up together, and you know, now like we did a benefit where like all these local metal musicians got together. This was last January. Rob Flynn put it together from Machine Head, and it was for just a friend of the scene that, you know, her man died in a motorcycle crash, and she was like badly injured, and you know, we got to all pull together, and we did put together a Sabbath tribute band, and you know, had like one special night at a local club in Oakland, and we raised money to help her out and her family and her expenses and whatnot, and that kind of stuff, you know, made me proud of this little community we have here, you know. Most
certainly, I can only imagine. Tom, I've got so many questions I'd love to ask you, but unfortunately time flies. Look, congratulations again on Blood In, Blood Out. It's a tremendous album, and thank you very much for coming out to Soundwave 15. We can't wait to see you here. Very exciting. And thank you very much for your time today, Tom.
I got a quick question for you. What's the weather going to be like when we get there?
We're going to put on sunshine just for you. It's going to be enormous. There'll be sun out, heat, and I understand some drinking might go on as well.
Is it going to be like crazy hot? Because you guys' summer is happening at that time, right?
It is, yeah. Look, Adelaide would probably be hot, but as far as Melbourne is concerned, and probably Sydney a bit too, if you don't like the weather, just wait 5 minutes, it changes.
Microclimate zone, huh? Cool.
Exactly. Right. Terrific.
Awesome.
Thanks again for your time, Tom. Great to talk to you, and I hope to catch up when you get here.
All right, buddy. Have a good day.
Take care, mate. Bye-bye.
Bye.